It's her only piece that's remained in the repertoire solidly since its composition. So let's have a look at it, shall we? I'm the Classical Nerd, and today we're talking about the Flute Concertino of Cécile Chaminade. Chaminade wrote the piece on commission from the Paris Conservatoire for their flute competition in 1900. Every year, a composer was commissioned to write a piece that all competitors had to learn. And this evened the playing field because they all had to play a work that they had not seen prior. For modern students, this is basically their equivalent of a jury. According to legend, she made the piece incredibly difficult to get back at a male flutist who spurned her affections. But this is untrue on multiple different levels. For one thing, she was already involved in a marriage of convenience to a much older music publisher. And second, she never expressed any interest in marrying a man her own age due to her fear of being controlled. Its entrance into the repertoire was not just solely due to the fact that all of the Conservatoire's entrants to that year's flute competition had to learn it. She didn't actually orchestrate the concertino until a flutist friend of hers wanted to premiere it. Chaminade's popularity as a pianist, both in her native France and in countries abroad, meant that her name was already out there. However, her previous attempts at writing orchestrally had been met with critical snubs, as writing for that particular ensemble was considered an essential aspect of masculine musical craft. The concertino thus was met coolly by critics, but even they had to admit it was full of some of the most beautiful melodies they'd ever heard. Her choice of concertino, literally small concerto, is similar to her other success in the orchestral realm, a one-movement piece for piano and orchestra that was premiered in Belgium at the beginning of her career. The piece's orchestration shows a fine and broad knowledge of the often tricky areas of orchestrating around a flute, whose low notes tend to get swallowed up if the orchestral texture is anything but thin or non-existent. Thus, the orchestration relies often on strings and harp playing very softly, all in all giving the piece a characteristically French sound. Tellingly, Chaminade does not use trumpets in her orchestration. Not only would it not fit the piece's character, but there's no note that a flute can play that can drown out any trumpet note. Its permeation of the small repertoire of the flute concertino is such that if you Google flute concertino, there's only one example that's not about the Chaminade piece to appear in the first 2 pages. And when you listen to it, you can pretty easily understand why.